Okay, hello everybody. Today's date is August 16th, 2024, and I'm aware I look a little funny. And I actually don't look my best either, but that's okay. Just ignore all that and pay attention to my statements. Now, this video is actually being made just for me as a memory reference, so once it's going to be uploaded, trust me when I say it's going to be made private until I find the right circumstances to make it public, at least to lawyers or law firms that I can trust. And trust comes with time, absolutely. Hold on. Now, check it out. First of all, let's make a notation concerning my eyes. All that whiteness around here and all that whiteness around there. Now, here's what I'm going to do. So keep this in mind and pay attention closely. Consider, even though I'm making this video through the home screen, okay, know that this is my left side of my jaw, and the electropad, which is actually this electropad is, I think what it is. Okay, so this is a full electropad. It's not one that's cut to fit. In other words, it hasn't been modified. This right here is on the left side of the face, directly next to the ear. So it's on the face though. Okay, this is the left side. Okay, so you know what you know about the exposures concerning the acoustic stuff related to the jaw. Okay, now this right here is the left side of my neck, right here. The windpipe is right here, so you want to put it just about right here. Now pay attention very closely. Earlier today, I was experiencing massive electrical discharges right here. So this right here, at the tip of my finger right here, is that left collarbone ball bone right there. And the electrical feeling that I was experiencing seemed to be coming from the left jaw down into my throat, down into the chest right here, which would mean it was about, the start of it was about, let's just say, 1/2 of an inch over to about right here. Okay? So that's about a 1/2 inch wide. 1/4 of an inch from 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch from the ball bone of the collarbone. So you move a 1/2 inch over, and then you take it about 1 inch, and that's where the electricity was coming from. Now that electricity, and this is all on the left side, that electricity was creating extreme pain in the lower front abdominal area right here. And I had put some TENS units on my left side torso and on my left front abdomen in different places, and none of it was correcting it. No, none of it. Now, as this progressed, me trying to deal with this pain while I was in the middle of work, as a result of it progressing, I noticed that I started feeling pain here. Now, consider this. You know, through at least educated knowledge, that these sick demonic bastards, okay, can hit you at low to medium levels in order so that the electricity will go from one place. And remember, and here's a sidebar notation. Remember long ago, when you found on the internet implants powered by sound, and that implant was right here. And you got the printout of it too, and you got it saved in several email accounts and probably in PDF links. So remember that. Now, implants that are powered by sound, you can have, because your jawbone can be acoustic. You can have so let's say if you have a human being who's got a bone conduction acoustic system implanted anywhere within the face, skull, and even jawbone, anywhere, one or more, okay, and you should also know that part of your nasal passage can absolutely create sound, as well as the back of your mouth, okay, and your jawbones and cheekbones and face bones and even your skull, okay, can transfer sound through bone conduction. So, putting this here, and right now I got wired bone conduction headphones on, but no audio file is playing through them. There is the scratchy tone in the environment too at this time as well. But so consider this. I don't think by wearing the bone conduction headphones and playing an audio file even though it does drown out the scratchy tone bullshit in the environment and a lot of other community-based sound harassment. Consider this. Right now I hear the scratchy tone, but this area of the body and no other area is feeling any pain. Now, bear with me 1 second. Now, this is turned on right now. Let me put my glasses back on. So these two electro pads are set on my TENS unit at 2 pushes at 11 hertz and 100 US. Okay, so you see it? Okay, that's what it's set at. 2 pushes on the power bar. Okay, and by the way, they're not like, yeah, you know, and so I'm barely providing any stimulation at all to these areas. But check this out. I was in extreme pain down in this abdominal area, down here, okay, down up in here, absolutely, and some of it even going a little bit down into the pelvic floor, towards the pelvic floor area. And the second that I put this on and this on, the pain immediately stopped. Immediately. So check this out. Now, I remember that Dr. Hildegard Stanger audio file where it talks about how acoustics. So let me just backtrack on that. So consider this and remember this well. The satanic filth that hosts this crime, they know that they're, well, it's reported online that they're putting they can put a whole slew of different acoustic technologies within the gang stalking victim from neck up. From neck up, okay? So there are many places from neck up, okay? So, given the fact that you can, so consider this right here being the ear, but you also have auditory nerves that are by the ear, okay? So if you have something, say, just as a metaphorical example, if you have, now, there can be many, they can be, there's obviously one or more things in play here, because if you got an implant that's powered by sound here, it's got to be getting the sound from somewhere, right? So if you got a nanowire or a biomedical wire, okay, running up and through any part that has any type of acoustic implant, including the fact that the nanowire can just be connected to one electrode that is put on the ganglion of the cochlear implant, bone conduction or not, probably bone conduction, okay, all right, and or a middle eardrum implant, even going as far as possibly a modified soundbite implant that can be directly implanted in the gum line. Doesn't matter how this sounds to anybody, because what the vast majority of the Earth's population doesn't even know gang stalking exists, let alone, in fact, even the vast majority of gang stalking victims don't even know about the vast different amount of auditory implants that are on the market, including older ones, by the way, okay, and all the other ones, including ones that they would not even begin to know exist, even once they did find out about auditory implants. Case in point, you'd be very lucky if you even discover the technology of soundbite, okay? Because you would have no. All right, now hold on. Now, I just noticed this TENS unit was off. And you notice any sounds in the environment between the time I showed it to you and just now? Okay? That's just a personal notation I'm making. So consider this. When you have any acoustic technology, okay, that is on the internet, okay, can easily be modified by these demonic freaks. And soundbite, instead of one of its pieces, one piece would get set on the jawline or the tooth, and the other piece would be externally worn. But it doesn't mean these sick demonic bastards cannot take that type of equipment and modify it so it can, both pieces can be implanted, okay? Absolutely. Or any other type of, because there's also dental acoustic technologies as well. Like you can have a fake tooth put in and not even know it. when you research the widely reported dentist employment description being involved in non-consensual human implantation connected to this crime, it's off the chain. So you can have more than one type of acoustic technology non-consensually implanted in you without you even having a clue. Oh, absolutely. Anywhere orally, one or more. Okay, because think about it. All day today, I was listening to my wired bone conduction headphones, and the pain was still being sent from this area to this area, and it went from this area down into the lower abdominal area. Okay, and now I remember what I was going to make a statement about concerning Dr. Hildegard Staninger's exposures on mine. Consider this. She's even discussed not only this type of stuff, I mean, she's even discussing about how you can put nano audio implants, darts, in the eustachian tube, and then it gets routed up into areas of the brain. Oh, absolutely, and much more. Oh, I remember the cochlear implant that she said, where it got its power from the beat of the heart as a result of a wire being literally connected to the heart, and then the heart beats, it creates a charge, it goes up through the wire, and then acts as the battery for the cochlear implant. I mean, these people are demonic beyond measure. So that's obviously something that's been modified, right? So even if it's not, even if you're a victim and you're experiencing acoustics, okay, through the ear, okay, all right, or through the mouth, okay, or even through the nasal passage, consider this. One, they can be operating as a separate and or even at times an integrated system with other types of acoustic implants. This is literally how bad this crime is, folks, no matter how it sounds to you. Once I do make this video public, at least marginally, to selected individuals, and that will probably never happen because these sick demonic bastards keep us from getting any type of uncorrupted legal assistance. In fact, they mostly prevent us from even having conferences with lawyers. Oh, absolutely. Okay, there's so much going on in this crime, it's off the chain. So anyways, so consider this. Because think about this. The human brain, it receives pain signals from the body. If you pinch your arm, that nerve ending connected to your skin is going to immediately notify your brain through the central nervous system that a pain signal is being felt right where I pinch it. Is this not so? Yeah. So consider this. Do you really believe that it's possible for the brain to pick up an imaginary pain signal? Think about what I'm saying, because consider this as well. If you take, a lot of times when I've experienced this abdominal pain, I have used this pain reliever cream. And once it's placed on the skin, the electrical chemical processes of it get absorbed in the skin. And if they're using the skin, either the first or second skin tissue or muscle tissue, as the conduit for the electricity to go from one wideband implant to another, okay, which are integrated implants that are connected to each other, then the electrical chemical processes of this interfere with the electricity that's going through the skin, prohibiting the electricity from going from one place to another. And then you put this on and the pain immediately stops. Do you really think that the brain is going to produce a fake pain signal? I think not. Now, I'm aware that there's some exposures online where victims' brains can be tricked into believing they're experiencing pain at a place when they're actually not. It's just the brain that's being tricked. I don't have any problem believing that, because of the fact that several doctors have exposed it. But consider this. Remember what I just said concerning the cream. Okay, if you put the cream on one spot and then it immediately stops, okay? Now, going back to, so I can tie off my statement I made earlier, where these demonic freaks, what they can do is sit you at a lower to approaching medium level of a certain pain that can get created from sound to radio wave, okay, conversion, piezoelectric transducer connected to any type of auditorial implant that they can achieve this through. So once the sound is heard, that they're sending directly to, including if they can send it directly to the sound processor of an ear implant, it's still going to get processed, whether you're wearing bone conduction headphones or not. Okay? Because check this out. I was enduring, and let me go back actually and tie up another statement, because the brain is not really shuffling data around in disjointed segments. What it's doing is that the brain is relating all these connected issues. So consider this. On many dates, many dates, before I even bought bone conduction headphones, I was experiencing, my body was producing second and third degree burns in many areas, including the abdominal area. Okay, oh, absolutely. The torso area, the chest areas, the top of the shoulder, and even the neck. Okay, so if you're actually being hit with something that is producing pain, and if you wear copper guitar conductive tape on these areas, and that conductive tape prevents the electricity from going from one place to another, yet they're still feeding the electricity through the sound conversion from the sounds they prop up in the environment and directly possibly through a bone conduction device. Okay? So, but yet, since they're rabid fiends, they're not going to stop sending what they're sending, especially if the victim is experiencing what they're experiencing, the sound that gets created to a radio wave that produces the electricity. If that sound is on an automated system and the filthy whores just say, well, fuck her, we don't give a shit what she's doing, we're still going to try and get in, that means then, even when you place the copper guitar adhesive tape on an area, and that electricity is still being fed into it because the sound is still being fed to the sound processor of the bone conduction implant, then that electricity is going to get trapped in one spot. And what's going to do is it's going to create a burn. Every single time, at least 98.7% of the time that I put that copper tape on areas that I was feeling pain at, okay, burns developed on the skin. Literal burns, because I was trapping the electricity from going from reaching the area where the copper tape was put at and then going to its next spot. Because think about it. I put this on and I put this on, and the pain in the lower left front abdominal area immediately stopped within less than 2 seconds. Immediately. Now, why didn't I notice that it might be coming from here and then going down to the abdominal area? Because if they hit you at low intensity, low to approaching medium intensity, it's not going to, this part of the body is not going to really, this is the only explanation I can give, this part of the body is not going to because it's flowing through. So it's, for one, it's not getting backed up, it's flowing through. But after it's been worked for a while, your lymph nodes or your glands might start feeling, okay, the effects of it steadily going through. Okay? And or the sound implant that's right here, that's receiving this, because, so whether this is a sound implant right here or not, it doesn't matter. Because let's say if it's a sound implant that's right here, and when you go on the internet, you research sound implants, implants activated by, powered by sound. Even though you might see one or two types, it doesn't mean that that is the specific type that might be in a gang stalking victim, and or also it might mean that it has not been modified. Okay, so consider this. Whatever might, so say if you do got something up in here, and the victim is experiencing a lot of wideband dumps, wideband radiotelemetry dumps as a direct result of sound conversion to radio waves, so that the radio waves can reach each designated implant that is on that particular integrated system. Okay, then what's going to happen here is that the sound is needed. Okay, well, if you got a bone conduction auditory implant in you, it's got a sound processor. Okay, so these wired bone conduction headphones will block out the sound that they're propping up in the environment, whether it's distinguishable to anybody else or not, because if they're using ELF, then only the victim hears it. ELF is the identical twin sister of voice to skull. Okay, so this will only block out the sound they're sending, okay, in the environment that the victim would hear. And so then would they then either go and try to send the sound directly to the sound processor, or is there a secondary implant that they're then using as a redundant system, including more than one, like a middle ear implant that's put right on the eardrum? Okay, that could also be modified. Okay, so that it has additional features and functions. Absolutely, because you got to remember that the vast majority of what victims are enduring internally through Y-band is a biomedical crime to begin with. And there's many different types of implants that these sick satanic filth are relying on. So when we say to ourselves, because we got to think, yes, we're going to need critical thinking to pick this crime apart, because these sick ass whores don't walk up to any victim and say, hey, this is what's been put in you non-consensually without your knowledge or consent, and this is how we're remotely interfacing with it in order to achieve one or more motives. You gotta, through experience and educated knowledge, through research, your brain will organize the data. Okay? So if you got an implant here that is powered by sound, it's obviously got to get in the sound from somewhere. So, but what does that implant do once it receives the sound? Is that implant got any type of piezoelectric transducer or transducer that then converts the sound it receives to radio waves, to then the radio wave gets sent through a nanowire or a biomedical wire or even a nerve? Literally. They're even putting cuff electrodes in the nerves of victims, nerves, veins, and arteries. I kid you fucking not. Okay? Because think about this. Okay? Think about this. If any doctor tries to claim any victim of this crime has got calcium deposits within their nerves and has created from whatever, vascular dysfunction or whatever, okay, well, and then this right here would possibly be breaking it up, allowing the correct electrical chemicals to go through, and as a result of it being blocked, something could be causing pain. You're gonna have to really educate me to get me to believe that. Okay? Absolutely. Because why? See, because what we gotta understand here, folks, is that for one, I can indisputably prove that I'm experiencing frequency hopping connected to gang stalking. Indisputably prove it. Indisputably. Now, frequency hopping is reported by very, very intelligent, credible people to be intimately directly connected to, okay, sound conversion to radio waves. And I can indisputably prove frequency hopping through massive amounts of videos, okay? A few of them have already been uploaded. Absolutely. Also, plus also, I can already prove implantation concerning what's in the eyes. I also can prove a 3.5 inch long horizontal surgery scar 1/64 of an inch directly below my left occipital lobe, and it appears that scar has also got a connected scar to it right behind my ear. How the fuck did that happen? Okay? Okay. Now, I can indisputably prove frequency hopping, which is sound frequency hopping, okay? And I also got a surgery scar up here. I got one on my chest. Oh, absolutely. And I do have an older video that shows a surgery scar actually right behind the right ear. So anyways, so let me just tie off that statement concerning, even Dr. Hildegard Staniger has openly stated that they're putting implants in the nerves so that the electrical chemical processes of the ion channels can be used as a delivery system to feed energy to certain implants. Literally. I literally got those audio files, I kid you not. So the point being is that, consider this. Okay, why would a 10 unit electrode safely put right here, set at a very safe power setting, and one here, immediately stop the pain down here as a direct result of me noticing pain on this side? And so through other educated knowledge, because I've also experienced this before, but to be totally honest with you, I forgot about it. I can look at you right now and tell you I'm being completely honest about it. See, you got to remember something about Y-band. Y-band creates a lot, and all the other crimes I'm enduring through this crime creates a lot of in real time daily trauma, concussions, traumatic brain injury, which affects our executive functions, our memory. Then you got and then if you're a victim who's also got literally nanotech in the brain, which can act as neurodisruptors. Oh, and there's so much going on, flashing photonic, biophotonics, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm not saying that applies to me. I'm not even saying the information I've shared in this video applies to me. What I'm doing is I'm throwing this out there. Because consider this. I'm making this video on August 16th, 2024. And if I can ever find a doctor that's willing to cooperate with me, and I can ever prove through either whatever type of test that would allow me to prove if there would be an implant here. Okay, because think about it, the very spot that I'm putting this electropad on, and once I turned it on, electropad here, your jawbone can be acoustic, it can be used, your jawbone absolutely can be used for bone conduction acoustic delivery. Okay? And it's all over the internet. They're implanting gang stalking victims with bone conduction acoustic devices, biomedical devices. And your jaw can be one place an implant can be put at and or used as a acoustic delivery platform. Now, so if you got a sound implant here and it's receiving sound from somewhere, because think about it, why would they put a sound powered implant here to begin with if one's there? Where would it be getting its sound from? How would it travel from the ear and or jaw and or any other part of the skull? Okay, the whole entire face and or skull bone structure. Where would it be getting the sound from to begin with? Would it be anywhere connected to the mouth, the nasal passage, the eustachian tube, what have you? Baby cakes and munchkin butts. This is just me out here throwing some information. Okay, now, yes, I do have audio files that openly show Dr. Hildegard Stanger, openly show her state many things, and quite a few of those things are about how things are being delivered from the head to the throat to the neck, okay, to the front chest, back, the back, then goes down to the torso, to different areas. Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, check this out. I'm literally going to make a statement here because I want this also included in this audio file. So ignore my leg if it looks dirty. But I'm going to show you something right here. Something right here. This right here is the left side of my lower shin. Okay? Now, this part right here, I scratched it a couple nights ago. So that would be the left side of the left shin. Right above the ankle, within 2 inches above the ankle. And so I must have rubbed up against something because I set out my my solar panels for my phone chargers every day. And sometimes when I set them out, I'll walk by a brush that's got poison oak on it. Okay? And to be completely honest with you, literally, it was either the day before or that day when I set my solar panels out, I brushed up against foliage that had miraculously somehow got pulled down. Now, I know that sounds bizarre, and I'm not going to go into why I'm making that statement, but the reason why I'm saying pulled down was because it was not like that before at all, even the day prior. So I rubbed up against it, and on that side of the shin. And so I might have got some poison oak on it because something was massively causing it to itch. So I went down and I started scratching it night before last. And as I was scratching it, okay, I was kind of even digging into one spot. Okay, so as I was digging into one spot, I felt what appeared to be a current contact directly on the left side. So you can imagine it to be kind of like this if you want to have an in real-time visual metaphorical representation of it. You scratch a surface on your skin, and each time you kind of did the point of contact that had the most pressure, I felt an electrical contact as if you were connecting any power source to something, and it connects together, and then that current that goes immediately through that current contact, that's exactly what it felt like on my left side torso from down here. Now you can go from right here within an inch and a half, 2 inches above my ankle on the left side of my left shin. Now you can go to Google and you can type in at Google the following way that I describe. Go to Google and type in at Google. Go to Google and type in at Google Melinda Kidder, One Cell Light, Dr. Hildegard Staninger, okay? Richard Kane Biomedical Report. It's 28 pages long. Very easy to read and understand. Now, towards the bottom of that PDF file shows a foot diagram, okay? Literally shows a foot diagram. And part of the foot diagram literally shows that part of the shin. And it shows an implantable device that goes all the way around with what appears to be a contact lead that's got a wire on it that then goes to another implant that's on the side of the foot. Now, I got massive weight and tissue loss on both feet, by the way, in those very spots, and you would not believe the electrical dumps that I feel in the bottom of my feet practically daily, especially when I'm being hit really hard with massive different sounds, right and left ear. Okay, from community-based noise harassment and from things that have been recorded and from what my Sound Spectrum Analyzer app has read out concerning frequency hopping. Absolutely. I got burn scars all over my body. Absolutely. And many non-consensual surgery scars. Absolutely. So check this out. So that very spot that shows the thing that is put around, okay, the thing that is put around the shin is the same exact identical to a T spot when I scratched it 2 nights ago. And I even made a statement about it in my running recording digital tape recorder. And I made statements on prior dates as well, including before I ran across that PDF. Openly show me state that the side of my shin right above my ankle is burning like hell. And it's not neuropathy. It's not neuropathy. Even though if you're a victim of wideband, okay, them interfacing with implants, including the fact that the grounding implants that they put in you can probably induce neuropathy. Absolutely. See, because one thing that we got to understand about this crime is that these same 6 satanic filth that host this crime, well, they already know that if you're enduring wideband, which is a bunch of different integrated networked implants, there's going to be some current runoff. So they got to put ground implants in you. And some of the biggest places that's reported they're putting ground implants in you are the wrist, the thumb, the ankles, maybe even around the elbows, okay? Because that excess current and the eddy current, okay, that gets produced has got to go somewhere. And by the way, also the buttocks. You wouldn't believe the 3rd-degree burns that have appeared on my buttocks, especially my left one. Oh, they go to town on me concerning the left side of my body, my left back tailbone area, which, by the way, there's a big bump back there. And you should know that fatty tissue and calcium deposits will form around implants, which doctors can mistake for tumors or cysts, okay, or bone spurs. Yeah, unknowingly, and some of them will use that as an excuse in order to deflect the issue that these calcium deposits and fatty tissues have actually formed around implants, calcifications, because it targets, I think it's called the red blood cells, as a result of all the different either radiotelemetry, radio waves interfacing with it, and or if the implant is emitting an electromagnetic signal. This is how literally demonic these wild whores are. They just don't give a shit. They're here to literally torture you internally until you're dead, literally, and to use you for research projects. I mean, these people are demonic beyond description. They better pray and find out who they are. So, anyways, why would you... So, no matter what the internet is saying concerning you having an implant placed either on this side and or this side, which, by the way, I got bumps right here on both sides. Absolutely. And you wouldn't believe you wouldn't believe all the other evidence I got as well. But check this out. No matter what the internet is saying concerning why there is a powered an implant that is powered by sound placed here, it doesn't matter what type of detailed information is on the internet it doesn't matter what type of detailed information is on the internet about it or not. You got to understand here, we're dealing with we're literally dealing with an organized crime syndicate that's in the system at the military, federal, state, and local level. Intel agencies are all over the internet to be massively involved in this crime, colluding with all sorts of medical clinics, university hospitals, and other hospitals, and much more. I mean, because think about it, dentists don't work in hospitals, yet you got massive exposure on the internet that dentists are involved in this crime. So how are they getting private practice dentists to be involved in this crime? Think about that. Okay? Absolutely. Think about that. I mean, because most dentists don't work for your area neighborhood hospital. Okay? Oh, absolutely. So you can go to Google and you can research at Google dental acoustic implants. I wonder what all that is. It's kind of a fishy situation going on here. What do we got here? What could that be? In the hood. There's many different ways that these 6 atomic filth. And I don't believe that's a lens flare, folks. Okay? Because this side of the home screen, this is my left side. Okay? This right here is my left side that you're seeing. The sun is over that way. In fact, the sun's only a teeny bit out right now. The entire sky is white. So why would you be seeing this? Get what you're seeing. Why would you be seeing that on this side? Okay. Alright. Why would you be seeing that on the opposite side? And if you knew about the other types of evidence I got, you'd have no problem in raising your eyebrows. Just trust me on that. Oh, absolutely. You would not believe the evidence I got. It is off the chain, baby cakes and munchkin buds. So let's just play around with this for a second. Okay? Hold on. Oh, absolutely. You gotta hit it just in the right amount of light. Now you should know that masers can have a direct energy. One could be a directed energy, and the other one can be an acoustic beam, offset from each other. Oh, absolutely. Now, a laser directed energy laser goes right through the skin, and that energy can easily find an implant. Oh, absolutely. You know, I literally got the audio. I literally got the audio recording. I literally have an audio recording of this crime being covered on a national radio show. In fact, I got quite a few of them back in 2013. And this audio recording literally talks about how, I forget if it was a UCLA alumni person who was renting an apartment, a condo, next to an elderly couple. And this demonic freak put a huge, big, gigantic type of, I don't know what it was, to be totally honest with you, I forget. It was some type of voltage, it was some type of electrical equipment, and a private investigator was on the show discussing this. He was a private investigator that specializes in electronic harassment, and I forgot his name, to be totally honest with you. I haven't thought about him in years. Oh, absolutely. If I think of it, I'll let you know. So anyways, he was talking about Roger Tulsis. He was talking about how he did private investigative work because this elderly couple was being electrically shocked in their bed as they were sleeping. And he didn't say how he found out about it, but through investigative work, he discovered that the UCLA alumni individual that was renting a condo directly adjacent to this elderly couple had put some kind of voltage or current contact, mounted it on the wall next to the elderly couple, and he was throwing electrical energy into the elderly condo's elderly couple's condo next door, and that electricity was floating around the air, and then found the elderly couple and made contact, and it electrically shocked them out of their sleep. Okay, now one thing you got to understand, folks, is that electricity that's floating in the air, it can find things that are also emitting electricity, and I'm going to show you proof of this here in a second, then I'm going to let you go. But you need to understand something. When I was feeling this abdominal pain in the front, I was also simultaneously feeling electricity go from here, from this area here to here. Okay? And then what it was doing, it was either taking a route on the side torso, or it was going into the front. Okay? And then going to the lower front abdominal area. Okay? Then I started noticing pain up here, and I think the reason why it took so long for me to notice the pain up here was because this area had gotten overworked as a result of me being hit so long. And then it started inducing pain. So I thought to myself, okay. And plus I was distracted doing work. So I thought, okay, I'll get the electropad out, and because the information that I know about this area, I put it on here, and the pain stopped within 2 seconds and hasn't returned since. Okay? Hasn't returned since. So, let me put on my glasses. Hold on. You would not believe what's going on in the hood. Oh, absolutely. So let me just bring up a fast picture because I'm running out of video time. Absolutely. And trust me, I rarely put on one of these anywhere on my neck, okay? Or my face either. Oh, absolutely. You would not believe what's going on, folks. I know I keep saying that, but it's mind-blowing. It's literally mind-blowing. And when you see this picture, you're going to say, damn. Oh, absolutely. Just bear with me a second. Like, how did this scar get right? I don't know how well you can see it. How did this scar get right here on my chest? Right there. Okay? Well, check this out. Not too long ago, I discovered on the internet that if you suspect that you got a non-consensual apnea implant, I ran across a scientific and medical article that openly showed it being stated that if you get apnea implant surgery, the scar will be directly at the very spot that this is at, and my tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. Now, if you got a cuff electrode in your hyperglossia nerve put there non-consensually, that can be forcibly induced. Okay? And the reason why they would go after your airway, that's a whole nother video. Your airway and what what they would want from an apnea implant. Because think about it, how did I get this scar on my chest? It's right there. I used to think it was a burn. Okay? But it's actually a scar. It's a surgery scar. How did it get on my neck? Think about what I'm saying. I mean, you literally got to think about what I'm saying, because your eyes aren't lying to you. Do you see it? Okay? Do you see it? That's a surgery scar right there. That's the very fucking place that you would get where they would do surgery at in order to put an apnea implant in you. And I've never snored in my life. Absolutely. Okay, hold on a second. What do you see this picture? It's gonna blow your mind. I'm sorry, I'm acting a little silly. I'm just trying to keep my spirits up. Oh, you wouldn't believe what else is going on. You just would not believe it, folks. It's off the chain. Oh, absolutely. So you're ready for truth? Because baby cakes, you're being introduced to it as I speak. Okay? So, do you really believe that a floating wave cannot be directed directly to an implant? That's a GPS wave, and it's guiding the directed energy weapon beam wave directly to the center of my forehead. Okay? Look at it. Look at it. Caught in live video. It's not the only time it's been caught, too. Look at that. Take a snap screenshot of it and zoom in on it. Look at that. So, that is a beam it was literally a floating wave, and it kind of looked like a ball. And then and this is how it's seen in the video, too. And the way that I got that from the video was because I just took non-stop, consecutive, non-stop, vibrating, non-stop, fast, really fast, consecutive stand screenshots. And that's how it isolated it in the video, from the video. Because this wave was going so fast. It was really going so fast. So many of the stamped screenshots that show it about right here show it as a big energy ball. But then as it got closer to me, it split off into a fork. That's because the energy ball, what it was doing was, this is extremely sophisticated technology, folks. It's probably military. That's what the internet's saying, okay? So anyway, so it split off so that one energy beam would act as a GPS beam, and it guided the directed energy weapon beam to the implant to activate it. Literally, okay? Oh, you wouldn't believe the evidence I got. It's off the chain. Oh, absolutely. It's indisputable. Oh, absolutely. So let's see if we can find anything here in the hood. Yeah, I know that sounds kind of funny, especially, see, because it's cloudy out right now, so it's hard to catch anything that they might be using as a constant interface. Because in order to catch this stuff, you have to have the right sun and the right shade at the same time while you position the phone in a certain angular way. Okay, so I want to so this video, because think about it, why would my lower front abdominal area, including around the solar plexus, okay, and my lower left front abdominal area be hurting like a bitch? I mean, pain that just completely distracts the mind, be stopped as soon as I sit this here and this here on an extremely low setting on my tension. Think about it. Stopped within less than 2 seconds. Think about what I'm saying. Okay? Use your brain smart. Okay? So research what I've stated and stay tuned to this account.